This has to be the most underrated Nintendo 64 game. I am speechless. This game came out and I read the review in the N64 Gamer magazine. The review was brutal. It claimed this had the worst sound, graphics and gameplay they had ever witnessed. They went to town on this game, but I think the review was totally unjustified. I recently played the game for the first time, and this is what I found. Graphics apart from the blue lines that join things and show up at times. I cannot fault these graphics other than occasional pop-up in the frame rate. I would go so far as to see, these graphics for the time are excellent. The car models look great. I think they look much better than the ones from Gran Turismo on the PlayStation 1. Yes, Gran Turismo on the PlayStation 1 has a lot more cars, but the game was also in development for years, since 1992 in fact. Not only that, it was a CD-based game, which had 700 megabytes of storage, vs the Nintendo cartridge, which was anywhere from 12 megabyte to 64 megabyte. To use a 64 megabyte cartridge at the time was very expensive. So to expect an N64 game to have 150 cars with those limiting factors is unreasonable. I look at these graphics and think back to the time, and they are pretty good. Is it a blockbuster hit? No. Does that mean it should be torn apart in the review? I think this game is much better than that 6 out of 10 it was scored. In my opinion, the graphics are far better than the PlayStation 1 Gran Turismo. The next thing to consider is the sound. Yes, Gran Turismo on PlayStation 1 had better sound, but again, it was on a CD. I remember the review saying the cars sounded like a lawn mower. Yes, they kind of do, but they also sound just like a race car. Race cars are noisy. Yet, people tell me they like the sound of an engine. Do you think you would honestly go to a car race and have your favorite mixtape on the radio? I think if you want to hear pumping music, all you would need to do is turn on your stereo while you play this game. And thirdly, gameplay. I remember how it said the gameplay was awful, but I also remember feeling like there was a lack of gravity on the PlayStation Gran Turismo game. I never thought that game was actually that good. To me, the cars handle very much like a car would handle if you put an idiot like me behind the wheel. To me it is actually very lifelike handling. What I see in this game is a good effort, but probably restricted by money and the cartridge of the Nintendo 64. Did you play this game back when it came out? Did you like it? If you liked it, or if you didn't like it, please write in the comments you for or against. Please subscribe to the channel for more gaming content. I find the tracks are fun, and you can really get a good drift going when you drive the car well. I honestly am speechless. I avoided this game like Police Academy 15. Even just to rent it for the weekend, I thought no way, the review was so bad. But I could have happily played this game for a weekend, or even more than that. I would score this game, based upon other races for the Nintendo 64 at the time, a minimum of an 8 and maybe even give it an 8.5. I just don't get what is not to like. I know that there is another racer on the N64 called World Driver Championship, which looks incredible, however, I have not played it. But just a few N64 racing games I think are much worse than this. MRC, Top Gear Rally and Top Gear Overdrive, Automobile Lamborghini, all the Cruising series games like Cruising USA etc. etc. San Francisco Rush. Just to name a few, yet, none of these games were scolded like this game. Am I wrong? Write it in the comments below. If men don't like the droning sound of an engine, then why are they constantly getting married? To me this game is much less harsh on my ear. When I was married, if I was to have played this game, it would be after the kids went to bed, the meal was cooked, the washing up was done. I would say peace and quiet, nothing for my wife to complain about. I think this would be a good time to play GT64 on my Nintendo 64. I would pull out the Trident controller, blow the dust from the cartridge slot, hit the power button, move the console closer to the chair I was sitting in, and then press start. This would trigger the chip in my wife's brain that would turn a switch onto NA mode. You would think at 9 p.m., after a day working in the hot sun, this would be a great time to play some Nintendo. Then from down the hallway you would hear roar roar arg arg roar nag wah 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 nag. I would hide under the chair, as I thought it was Gargamel from the Smurfs. But it was the now ex-wife. She would be proclaiming how dare I play Nintendo, and then come up with some reason, as if I should go back below the deck and keep rowing the oars. Where was I? Oh yes, stay out of my booze.